Someone on the Facebook group alerted me that the air conditioner ducting may have a lot of gaps, which would reduce its efficiency. So I wanted to take this apart and see what I could find. So in order to remove the cover here, first you have to take off the filters. You just push in and snap this out. Do be careful because this plastic is very fragile and I broke it pretty easily just trying to pry it out. Once you've got the panel and the filter off, you just pull the 4 screws here and the housing should come right off. Looking at this carefully and checking how the air flows, it seems that Airstream completely forgot to put a part in here. So this is the exhaust with the cool air. It's supposed to be directed down here and then into this exhaust plenum where it is directed fore and aft. You can see it's completely open here. So the exhaust is going right into the intake plenum on either side and getting sucked back up in, which is going to be a lot less efficient for the air conditioner. This is not a good thing. So I need to figure out some way to mask off this exhaust plenum so the air is directed down instead of just blowing out to the side. You can see here that they even installed double sticky 3M tape to tape something down, but there's just nothing there to fill the plenum. So I've got this heavy vinyl duct tape. It's designed for ductwork and air plenums, so I think it should be appropriate here. And I'm going to try and apply this. Hopefully it's tall enough to go through that gap and go all the way around. And we'll see if we can seal this up a little better. Well, that's not too bad a job, I think. I've got the vinyl tape firmly attached to the top and bottom of the plenum here. Seems to seal it all up on all sides. So the exhaust is now going where it should, and it's not bleeding in with the intake here. This is something that caught us by surprise on one of our last trips, and I recommend every Rangeline owner take a look at. We were traveling after having left the van for a couple months, and we went to open the back window, and after releasing, we found we could not move the window at all. It was just jammed tight. And eventually I was able to get it to open, but it required quite a bit of work. I checked in the manual, and there's a small sentence that's very easy for people to overlook that actually talks about this. It says, yeah, if you leave your window sitting for a couple months, they will freeze in place. And that's just a side effect of the acrylic window and the mounting that they have it in. They recommend using a silicone-based lubricant every few months, especially if you're going to leave it sitting. Otherwise, the windows will freeze in place. And they can be very difficult to move, and potentially you could break the window trying to get it to move if you're not sure what you're doing. So I went and got some RV Care window dry lube so it won't attract dust or other stuff. Spray a little bit of that in your window track, and now it moves relatively freely. Here is something else that I recommend every Rangeline owner take a look at. It's a little difficult to see in this lighting, but there is a metal panel covered with felt across the top of the rear section here. And it's not secured by anything. Basically, they just crammed the metal panel up in and wedged it tightly. And that holds for a couple 100 miles until you hit a few good bumps, and then it just straight up falls out because there's nothing attaching it. So it's pretty easy to fix. Just drill a couple of holes along the base and then just use a screw, kind of tack it in there, and that should hold it solidly enough that it won't fall out.